At first, the relationship is intense. She's attentive, seductive, maybe irresistible. The chemistry is strong, the attention's constant, and sex is incredible. You feel chosen, adored, and then somehow you go from being desired to being deprived, devalued, rejected, shamed. And now the very thing she used to hook you becomes the evidence that you're selfish, defective, or somehow the problem. And that's why this is so confusing because what once brought you such intense connection now brings confusion, anxiety, and self doubt. So, if you felt like sex was being used to control you, punish you, or to keep you off balance, then this video is for you. I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach, and today we're talking about 7 ways female covert narcissists use sex as a weapon. And stay till the end because I'm going to explain the difference between a woman with strong narcissistic traits and a healthier partner, especially when it comes to sex. Okay, so let's talk about the 7 ways that a female covert narcissist uses sex as a weapon and why so many good men end up blaming themselves and end up trapped in these horrible relationships. So, number one is she hooks you with sexual intensity. So, right from the start, she comes on very strong sexually. There's intense chemistry, constant attention, and affection, and you will feel fully alive. It's addictive. It feels like you finally found someone who truly wants you. And yes, the sex is amazing, but what makes this more powerful is that she uses sex to create the illusion of trust, connection, and compatibility. She creates the illusion that you found something truly rare and special. So you stop taking your time, you stop paying attention to the red flags, and you start opening up, trusting, investing emotionally. And before you truly know her, you're already hooked. And that's where guys get into trouble because once you get addicted to the way she makes you feel, you stop looking at the relationship objectively. And that's how you end up getting blindsided. The second way is she withdraws sex to create craving. So, this is where the real punch comes in because now that you're hooked, the whole game changes and she starts pulling away. So, this woman who couldn't keep her hands off you now is distant, uninterested, unavailable. Sex becomes inconvenient or inconsistent or it disappears altogether. And you're thinking, whoa, wait a minute, what just happened? Because the very thing that pulled you in is now being withheld from you. And that's the trap. Because once you've experienced those early highs, you'll do almost anything to get them back. You'll explain things away, you'll make excuses, give second chances. And even when the relationship becomes painful, chaotic, and nothing like it was in the beginning, you'll still be chasing the memory of how she made you feel in the beginning. The third thing is that sex becomes a reward system and you have to earn it through some kind of brownie point system. So if you agree with her, cater to her every need and emotion, if you comply with her demands, you get some brownie points and you might be rewarded with some physical affection. But if you disagree, set a boundary, disappoint her, sex is taken off the table. And this creates a silent rule. Your access to sex depends on your obedience. And that's a dangerous place to be because after a while, you learn that honesty, disagreement, conflict, and boundaries cost you intimacy. So you adapt without even realizing it. You stop saying what you really think. You start walking on eggshells. You start managing her moods because you've learned that if you want affection, connection, and sex, you'd better not rock the boat. Fourth, she uses sex to shame you. And here's where it gets even more twisted. So you start getting rewarded less and less. And if you try to initiate sex or bring up any issues around sex, like the fact that your needs aren't being met or that sex seems conditional on your compliance, you'll get things like, all you ever think about is sex, or you only want me for one thing, or why are you so obsessed with sex? And think about what just happened here. You brought up the lack of intimacy, your need for more intimacy, and somehow the conversation is now about what's wrong with you. And if the conversation turns into conflict, things get even worse. The very insecurities that you shared with her will suddenly get used against you. Maybe it's your sexual performance getting criticized, or your desires being mocked, or you're made to feel needy, weak, unmanly, pathetic, or unreasonable for wanting closeness from the woman that you love. And you learn that you cannot talk about it and you can't win. Number five, she uses sex to destabilize you. So, this is another way a female covert narcissist might use sex as a weapon by making you feel replaceable. So, maybe she talks about other men and how they want her. Maybe she brings up her exes. Maybe she flirts in front of you or posts sexy photos on social media, or maybe even threatens to sleep with someone else. And you feel it. You feel like you're in constant competition. And the message is don't get too comfortable. You're replaceable. And the crazy part is she doesn't even have to cheat. She just has to make you believe that she could. So maybe she says something like, uh, I should find someone who can satisfy me, or other men would kill to be with me, or my ex never had this problem. So she creates just enough suspicion and uncertainty to make you wonder whether she's cheating or whether you'll be replaced. And if you question it, she'll tell you that you're jealous, controlling, insecure. And now you're living with this fear that if you make one mistake or ask a question, someone else is right there waiting to take your place. And that's the trap because secure men don't compete for love, but insecure men do. Six is she turns sex into a loyalty test. And this one can really mess with your head because now sex isn't just sex, it's a test of whether you love her enough, a test of whether you're loyal. And the rules are impossible. And there's crazy double standards. So even though you can't look in the direction of a woman or have a normal conversation with another woman, you can't be tired, you can't be stressed, you can't struggle with sexual performance. She can do whatever she wants. And she will be super suspicious and insecure, asking who you're sleeping with, who you're attracted to, why you're not attracted to her anymore. Oh, you must be addicted to porn. You must be thinking about someone else. And again, it's like you're on trial, always proving, always defending yourself, always trying to convince her that you're a good man, that you're not cheating, that you're not lying. And that's the tragedy because you can never actually pass the test because the problem isn't your loyalty. The problem is that her insecurities never go away, so the tests never stop. Number seven, she uses sex to dodge accountability. So this is where she flips the whole thing because now she's not the one withholding, shaming, or cheating or creating the distance. Somehow it's you that's the problem. You bring up the lack of sex and suddenly she's hurt. You ask for more closeness, now she's overwhelmed. You mention the distance, and now she feels pressured, misunderstood, or objectified, or emotionally unsafe. And just like that, the conversation is no longer about her withholding sex. It's about you not knowing what a woman needs. It's about you not making her feel safe. And that's the move. She reverses the whole dynamic and puts herself in the victim position. And now you're being accused of pressuring her and maybe even of being some kind of pervert or predator, even though nothing has changed on your side. And that's what makes this so hard to call out. Now you're stuck. Do you keep asking and become this horrible, terrible villain, or do you back off and go without? That's the trap. She doesn't just avoid accountability, she turns you into the villain of her story. And when the relationship ends, that's when it can get really ugly. She might start telling everyone that you're creepy, controlling, addicted to porn or sex, or much worse. And she'll talk about your private sexual life to friends and family, turning intimate details into social ammunition to humiliate you publicly. And this is especially painful. It's a huge betrayal because sex is supposed to be one of the most private, trusting parts of a relationship. It's supposed to be where you both feel safe, wanted, connected. So when that trust is broken, you feel used, confused, deeply mischaracterized. And suddenly you're not just grieving the end of a relationship, You're trying to defend yourself against a false narrative that you never saw coming. If you want to learn more about betrayal trauma in the context of narcissistic relationships, click on the link above. So, if you've experienced this, here's the most important thing that you need to remember. A healthy relationship doesn't consistently require you to earn basic intimacy through submission. A healthy partner doesn't regularly use sex to punish, humiliate, confuse, or control you. In a healthy relationship, both people's needs matter. Nobody's trying to dominate. Nobody's thinking, I'm going to withhold intimacy until he gives me what I want. So if sex has become a bargaining chip, a loyalty test, or a tool of emotional manipulation and domination, that is not intimacy. And the sooner you name this as manipulation, the sooner you can stop blaming yourself for something that was never what you thought it was in the first place. If this video resonated with you, please leave a comment below and tell me about your experience of sex being used as a weapon against you. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.